there we go again. Everything today is somehow on a short notice, but yeah, we casted 2 games now of the Gozo Cup Asia. Amazing games, especially for those who are still sticking around. Miracles, Naga Siren was really just a miracle. Like, amazing plays coming out, and we just found another game which will probably be the last game for today, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, it's joinDOTA League, the Division 2, Pandawa.5 versus AG. More C-Dota coming your way. Both teams are from Singapore, if I'm not, no, from Indonesia. Both teams are from Indonesia. Anyway, my name is Heflatv, and coming with me is now not Coucher, no, it's Whiplash. Are you there?
Yes, indeed, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Well, since you're here, let's hop into the draft.
All right, let's go ahead and do that. This is, by the way, very short notice. I was told, I think 2 minutes ago, but totally down the cast Tefla. So anyway, just I am not sure who these teams are. I think they're more amateur teams, just based on what I see here. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Not the normal C teams I cast.
I have no idea who those teams are. I heard AG-Arvore already, since I think we had a Division 2 game casted last season of them. But like this season, anyway, Division 2 is getting more and more popular simply because they're also in the match ticker. Unfortunately, other pages have not picked them up yet for their ticker, but still, there's a lot of folks coming from joinDOTA, and some of those teams actually bring a lot of fanboys with them. So I think those games still, they deserve some attention, and we definitely give them the attention they need. Here we are, we're gonna cast it, and sometimes even those Division 2 games, they're long, they're exciting, funny plays, good plays coming out. You see maybe players we might see in 2015 in some Tier 1, Tier 2, C or Asian team whatsoever. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Alright, cool. Yeah, I'm always excited to see up-and-coming teams and players, because you never really know who's going to be like the next Ice or Artesia and so on. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the draft, Southfly. I already see that Pandawa.5 has banned out the Bat Rider, Naga Siren, so looks like the new patch really not affecting too many of the heroes that are being banned out early on. Invoker is well being picked out from AG's side, and a little surprising to see the Viper banned out so early. Maybe it's just a ban against the team, not necessarily just the hero in general.
Yep, absolutely surprised. Like, I mean, everything goes according to the meta when you look at the Invoker, Batrider and Naga, but still, this makes a lot of space for pickups we usually don't see. The Ember goes through, AA goes through, you already said that, and also the Lycan would be an option. Like, many teams simply ignore the fact that he has been nerfed. Like, the only thing that has been nerfed, they've taken away some HP of his shapeshift form, but that's pretty much everything. The rest just remains unchanged and is just as strong as it was before. But yeah, both teams ignore him here. They don't want to come out with the pushing power, and I don't know, maybe we're gonna see him as a 3rd or 4th pick, or maybe we see him now here in the 2nd ban rotation.
That's certainly a very viable option to pick up so far for either team. They still have the slots if they really want to put him in their lineup. And I guess more standard heroes being banned out now, with the Sand King as well as the Doom on both ends. And I do like the first 2 picks from both teams, actually. Ancient Apparition and Ember Spirit. They did get touched a little bit with various, well, I want to say the very slight nerf for Ancient Apparition and a few more nerfs for Ember Spirit. But like, I don't think it has really stopped them from remaining like kind of at the top of the tier list, so to speak.
Yep, absolutely. I don't see any reason so far that those heroes would somehow decline or go into a low priority pick. It's at the moment they are just as strong as they have been before. Those nerfs haven't been really significant in my opinion. But yeah, in the 2nd ban rotation now we see Sand King getting banned, and Rasta, the Shadow Shaman, is getting out for Pandawa. And on the other side we have Doom, which is absolutely, yeah, Doom is a must-have ban if you have an Ember Spirit or a Storm Spirit or a Puck. Those heroes with a pretty much low HP pool and absolutely relying 100% on their spells, since they don't have or barely have any right click. So yeah, Doom, it's a very viable ban here. And the same with the OD. OD in the mid is just something you don't want to see against Ember Spirit, and since the OD comes out, I just expect the Ember Spirit to be in the mid for AG-Arvore here.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. I feel like most teams nowadays they do run the Ember Spirit more in the mid lane than the safe lane. I guess it happens from time to time, but it was something that was experimented with a lot more when Ember Spirit first came out and was available in Captain's Mode last patch. But we go in ahead and see the third pick come from Pandawa.5. It's the Shadow Demon,
Yep.
which will round up their support lists, and Centaur should be in the off lane. But ARV, they get the Dark Seer. Okay. And then a quick Luna pickup from Pandawa. So already it looks like these rosters are really starting to shape up. What do you think about what the most recent picks?
I don't know. It's like I'm actually quite baffled because when I look at the Darkseer, I don't see any synergy so far coming out by the Darkseer. It's for now just a viable offlane, but let's see what's coming. Like maybe there's a Naga come. No, Naga won't come. It's already been banned. Like I'm looking for something. Like the Vacuum Wall in combination with something. Dream Protector would be still up for AG. Then again, this is C-Dota, so we don't see it that often. And they go for actually the right decision here, because the Mirana would have been an option for Pandava since we saw the Shadow Demon there. So far, the only synergy between Shadow Demon um, would be, yeah, Shadow Demon Center Warner, that means Disruption, Soul Catcher into the Hoofstomp Double Edge. That's a pretty sick combo. Even sicker would have been if the Mirana would have been on the pitch. That would have been, yeah, the arrow after Disruption, and then the Center Warner plus Luna Dezo or anyone else who is there to follow up could have made the damage. But I don't know, still, for AG, I hope they bring something in for synergy with the Darkseer, because at the moment, as I see it, a wall will come out, a vacuum will come out, but there's nothing to hold them in place. There's no overgrowth, for example, there's no RP, there's, yeah, pretty much nothing at the moment. So, I don't know, I don't like the Darkseer pick. For the Luna, well, Luna, Mirana, the combination they have at the moment as cores, pretty common picks, and yeah, there's not much to say, to be honest. They're both viable.
Yeah, I think I would actually like Murata more on Panzo's team, just based on the fact that they do have that Shadow Demon Centaur combination like you were talking about,
Yep.
and I find it almost a little bit weird that ARV picked that up when they don't really have a good setup hero. I guess if they want to pick like a Bane up to help out the Mirana, they could definitely do like an offensive tri-lane. They do have the Ancient Apparition, which does shine in those situations with that chilling touch, but it still does kind of leave them without a huge amount of lockdown, and then you get the lack of synergy with the Darkseer as well. So
Exactly. But it also
that's
has
the
a
concern of
downside,
mine.
because that would also mean if they would go for a Bane, that means Ember Spirit is the only one with a decent right click. Mirana needs her time to actually get online, and the entire thing is against a Luna that will pretty much, like in right click, be always on top of the Mirana there, and it all comes down to how farmed is Ember Spirit. And I don't know if this game will go late game. That is the big question. If it goes late game at the moment, okay, Ember Spirit, Mirana. If they transition full into right clicks, maybe even 6 slotted, then yes, maybe they have the upper hand. Then again, a Luna is always super scary, and it all comes down then to the Ember. If the Ember doesn't get online, then I think the Luna, with her setup as the draft it is right now, then mid game and even late game should be on Pandava's side. But it's just my prediction. Maybe I'm off here. It really depends what the Ember gets. If the Ember has a nice start early and mid game, then I have to revoke my comment right now.
Well, that's just the way Ember Spirit works. If you start snowballing with him early on, then he almost always like just wins the game or does really good, and it's kind of hard to lose, I feel, in the later stages. But it's up to Pantua to pick their mid hero. I don't think they'll put like a dual lane Centaur, a Dazzle mid combo or something like that. He's still really good in the off lane. And I mean, the Viper's out of the pool, so, and the OD's out of the pool, or Storm's out of the pool. Really, AG
Yep.
have banned out a lot of mid heroes that potentially do a lot of work against this Ember Spirit. So it really feels like they want their Ember Spirit to do good in the mid lane.
Alchemist is coming out. Well, actually, yeah, I second this. This is actually a good pickup that gives them additional stun, a stun that can go after the disruption and the soul catcher. This is 100% uh, stun, because you have the setup by Shadow Demon, plus the stun fully channeled is a lot of damage. Minus armor is scaling with it, that means acid spray will be already on top of you, maybe a medallion coming out by the team, and that means with Soul Catcher plus 50% damage, that is quite a lot of damage coming your way only by the stun. Plus Alchemist, of course, he can snowboard just as well. We will see if he goes in Creevil's Creed. If this is the mid hero, then I doubt it, because then I think Acid Spray is coming out as a harass spell. Anyway, on the other side, they run up that draft with a Tidehunter. We saw that already today. Wasn't quite working out. The Tidehunter didn't get his level fast enough and everything. So I don't know. All the Tidehunters I cast at the moment, they horribly fail. I have no idea why, because overall I like the hero, and for some reason he is also getting back into the more popular picks. Then again, I have so far not seen anyone who brings that Tidehunter through to a point where you can say like, oh my god, so scary. Also, the old school 2013, okay, I'm a Tidehunter, I grab level 6, then we go fight, I try to get more gold into Oblivion stuff, into Perseverance, and then the Refresher Orb with some, of course you need some mana pool on top of it. So we also don't see that. They all go for just one Ravage and maybe even some right click, some gimmick items for the teams as auras and stuff. Anyway, we have to introduce the teams. I'm starting here on the Radiant side because they look pretty easy to introduce. Panda is playing here on the Mirana. We have Popo-Arv. Okay, that sounds funny because, you know, Popo means in German it's like a colloquial form of Ars. But either way, we have DGT on the Tidehunter, RCK on the Darkseer, and last but not least is either Midas. Yeah, Arch-Arv, either Midas is his name, on the Ember Spirit.
Indeed, if we go ahead and check out P5 on the opposite side, the Dire end, go ahead and check out Luna. That's being played by Kai. And then over to the Alchemist, which most likely will be in the mid lane. Yeah, based on his items, that does seem to be the case. It will be Sugar. And moving over to our offlaner, it should be a very complicated name, Rediska Irvian. Okay, I guess it's not that bad. I guess he's also repping the Steel Series tag. I wonder if that's a bit of a sponsorship shout-out or anything. But regardless, on to the last two, the supports. We have Congen as the Dazzle. And last but not least, on the Shadow Demon, it will be simply Patrick.
Yeah, Pat Rick. Maybe his name is just Rick and he wants to be patted. I have no idea. Either way, it's Patrick for now. And they have a pause. Did we have a reason? Oh yeah, toilet. Well, that's some urgent reason, I guess. Toilet is always...
so.
Yep, it's better on a toilet than on your chair while you're playing. But yeah, we're gonna see the Alchemist here in the mid. We already see, like, he got two shared tangos. That means 475 gold for him, meaning in just, yeah, either the gold ticks down or with 2 CS plus gold ticks, he will have a bottle pretty much in the first minute. They only have to care for the bottle snipes, because I say this, last game we actually had twice the courier going down. Once with the bottle, the fresh bottle coming in, got sniped, and then later again with a Midas on board. I mean, the items actually got delivered, but still the courier went down a second time, and this was like really bad for the team. I mean, in the end they won, but like for the time being, early and mid game they had such a disadvantage that really just Miracle on his Naga could rescue it, and he actually came to the rescue. I can recommend every viewer who likes some C-Dota versus Chinese Dota, you have to watch our YouTube VODs. They will come up pretty soon. So yeah, it's worth a watch. New Element versus Skype, the second game. Oh no, wait, it was only a best of one. Yeah, so it's just one VOD. But anyway, Miracles Naga, just impressive. Game starting.
Alright, looks like we're back into the thick of things. And you know, Heflatv, because I kind of came on last second, is this a best one? I want to make sure I know what I'm getting.
No, it's a best of two.
Here.
All the games in joinDOTA League are best of two. So we have 2 games with those guys. There is, of course, always a chance for the other team to come back. Let's see if this is a very equal game, or if it's really like sometimes in Division 2 that you have sometimes matchups that are really one-sided, because sometimes teams end up in Division 2 because they had just had a bad Division 1 game, or we have also upcoming teams that really dominated Division 2. But here, since they are both Indonesian games, they might be even neighbors playing from the same internet cafes whatsoever. But now we have here 3 men versus 4, and there we have the first clash. But no, actually we don't. The gush is not coming out.
They're pinging onto the Dazzle. He hasn't skilled up any of his points yet. Okay, there's the Gush, but it's kind of just this Tidehunter trying to chase down the Dazzle. So
But it will be a
there
lot
will
of
be no.
damage with Chilling Touch.
I guess it's nothing that a Dazzle really has to worry about. He can just Shadow Weave himself up, eat a Tango if he wants. That's what he's going to do. So no harm, no foul. And it does seem to be Heflon offensive Trilane up at the top with the Ancient Apparition, Tidehunter, and that Piranha. I mean, at that, it is a bit non-standard. You almost always expect that setup hero from the Mirana. We'll have to see if the slow from Gush can help set up that arrow.
Yep, it has to be. Like that's what I said in the draft. Like I don't like that the Mirana is playing without any setup, but now DGT is already like doing quite some harass damage on Kai here. Kai, I guess we call him Kai. And
Yeah, we'll call him Kai.
yeah, Kai. Kai sounds better. Sounds like a real name. But yeah, either way, I'm pretty. I don't know if the Luna actually stays here alone. Without the two supports helping with harass, then the Mirana will have the upper hand, but like sooner or later the Dazzle will rotate in with the Poison Touch, and if spammed on either the Ancient Apparition or Mirana, that will quite do some damage. The Tidehunter, just too much armor, and maybe if he even goes in Kraken Shell or whatsoever, then well, I don't think he's a spam worthy target. But we have to see. Trilane versus Trilane, the setup for the arrow, you already said it, is not too optimal, so I think, well, it has to be good aiming.
I feel though on the other side it's still a pretty defensive, safe Trilane on the Luna end. So I guess I wouldn't expect too much action to really happen at the top. They may try to get a kill, but well, can they actually do it? They're trying to go onto the Luna, throwing out another Gush, and all right, there's a disruption as well onto the Tidehunter, and actually that's a lot of damage. The weave combo with the illusions helped them get the first blood.
Yep, definitely. Soul Catcher there doing so much damage. Like the Shadow Demon already level 2, that actually was the opportunity they were looking for, and nothing they can do. But the funny thing is, when it comes to right clicks, both teams have a lot, because you have the Luna, of course, giving the Luna Blessing, that's a lot of right click. You have then the Shadow Wave burst on the illusion, which was pretty much the main source of damage here against Tidehunter. But on the other side also, don't underestimate the Chilling Touch on 3 heroes plus Gush. That it means minus armor. The Anchor Smash also now damage reduction. By the way, got buffed in 6.81. But now here in the mid we see they want to rotate in, they're smoked up, and either Midas, well, he's level 3, that means no Remnant escape, and if Sugar gets the stun, that would be level 2 stun. That would look grim for him.
Indeed. Well, the smoke's going to wear off, and they haven't moved in onto this Ember Spirit quite yet. Maybe they're waiting for some type of bait or something from Sugar, and alright, well, here come the supports, and they're moving in. Ember Spirit is kind of in the middle, and this looks like the stun. It's going to go off. Will it hit in time? Okay, there we go. Nice stun. That's going to be an easy kill with the weave.
It's exactly what I said in the draft. This is perfect setup for the Alchemist, because you have the disruption. The disruption on level 1 is just short enough that you can start channeling it. Then here comes the disruption, and really at the last second you can go for it. That means maximum damage. The Acid Spray as well coming up there, and Dazzle with his burst damage on the illusions, plus of course the 2 other heroes surrounding it. That means you get at least 5 times the damage. But the mine is coming in. Oh my god, this might be enough. Yep, it is enough.
A little bit of revenge coming out from the Ember Spirit. He did not like what happened to him earlier on. And there's something I wanted to point out. It's that Flame Guard, it blocks magic damage, and the Acid Spray from the Alchemist is composite damage, which means that it doesn't affect the magic shield. So it's kind of like, it can be good or bad if the Ember Spirit wants to be really offensive and just like, try to kill off that Alchemist. He's not going to be able to burn down that shield so quickly.
Yep, it's actually it's quite a surprise that he goes for the Flame Guard build, because none of the damage of the Alchemist is being mitigated. But now,
bot lane. There's going to be disruption, stomp combo onto the Darkseer as well. There's that weave and the double edge. He tried the surge out of there, but I mean, there's the combo, man. It's just so much upfront damage to deal with.
Yep, absolutely. Like with this combination, like 3 times, 3 disruptions, 3 kills, and now here in the mid they try to do something, but yeah. The gank attempts of AG-Arvore here definitely not as potent as the ones coming out by Pandawa.5. So, yep, looking good. 1-3 at the moment. We're almost 5 minutes in Farm-wise, well, it's looking still good for AG-Arvore here, because the Ember Spirit is doing fine as well as the Darks here. Like, so far he dominated his lane, that's why this kill was even very important. Now we might see it go on the Luna.
Yeah, indeed, they are going to move after her. Leap forward, and the arrow. Well, the arrow's already on cooldown. Stampede, though! That Stampede definitely saved Luna's life.
And here, bottom lane, they wanted to go on a Darks here, but there's nothing to follow up. Actually, the Centaur didn't come in because he's lacking his mana. There we see the first time the nerf on the Centaur Warrior. Like, his hoof stomp is now so expensive that in the early levels, you sometimes just don't have it.
Uh-oh, mid lane. Ember Spirit gets stunned, and he just barely escapes. Using those bottle charges. Okay, that was very close. He was one more hit from dying to that tower or the Alchemist.
Yep, definitely. Like, he has to be really careful because he comes with a very low base armor anyway, and Alchemist providing minus armor, plus of course the unstable concoction being physical. That is just sick. If you get hit by a fully channeled stun, that is just something, yeah, that might as well get you below 50% already.
I mean, I think things are going to start to get quite hard for this Ember Spirit because Alchemist, with the chemical range, is going to have a lot of uptime on that acid spray. So, you know, that Ember Spirit, it seems like he's going to be always low on health now, and we even have the Shadow Demon. He's smoked up as well towards the mid lane, but Ember Spirit is just going to TP home, bottle up a little bit, so I guess he wants to be healthy for any action that could potentially come his way.
Yep. He will be fast back though. The Remnant is already in place in the mid, so this is really just, yeah, and there he goes. He's back, and with that residual mana, he's even gonna do some damage. But Alchemist popping his ultimate, therefore regening pretty fast, and now there you see the stun. Like, this was just 2 hits and a stun, but top we have action as well. They tried to go on the Luna, but now, oh my god, the disruption is coming out. Loose and beaming on the Mirana, leaping out, but it should be enough to get the Shadow Demon down. So the first time there's a strike back, the arrow flies, and actually, did this one connect? It didn't look like it. He stopped shortly before, but either way, with the damage coming out by the Chilling Touch, which is level 2, enough damage to get the Dazzle down as well. So free at the moment, and in the mid, oh my god, Sugar in trouble as well. Like, he's trying to use the bottle, which is going through. It's not interrupted, and there the stun under the tower. Perfect timing, 20 HP. Very lucky Alchemist, and a very pissed Ember.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that Ember Spirit. I can feel for him. I've done the same thing multiple times when I dive just a little bit too far with Ember Spirit on the mid lane. So hey, it was just that really close situation. One more last hit, one way or the other, could have secured it, and unfortunately just didn't work out for the Ember Spirit. So regardless of that, it's still a relatively even game. It's 3-4, and you know, top lane has kind of been going a little bit back and forth as well. And just, there's been a lot of action basically everywhere throughout this game.
Yep, absolutely. It's really going forth and back between both teams. And now Ember Spirit actually going for the Luna. The chains are not coming out yet, but now they actually hit both. But Eclipse coming out doing quite some damage. But here he has not enough mana to Remnant away. And the last tower hit plus the Dazzle finish him off, but Dazzle in return catches the arrow directly in his face. So that means in the end we have a 2-for-1 trade. But oh, Alchemist once more. Oh my god, the stun is channeling already. It hits both. No, it doesn't. Pretty close. At the end, he decides to go for the Tide Hunter. And yeah, the Stampede coming out as well. And now Panda might be in trouble because this is a hasted Alchemist. A new stun is coming. There we have the stun. Last hit. And Alchemist getting a double kill here. A very needed double kill for him because he needs that early gold, early levels. And with this one, he secured it. But Ember Spirit, he wants the revenge, but now he has 1 Remnant left for, yep, go on low ground. By the way, you can also do play-to-play. I just took it over here, but yep, just feel free. I can relax.
I know, man. You're just getting a little excited, and this,
yeah.
I mean, like I said, right before a lot of action happened. Well, all right, time for the play-by-play in the mid lane. We do have the disruption. Stun on Ember Spirit as well. They're going to get him from the look of things.
Yep.
Hey, it's another kill. There's non-stop action all over the place. You got to keep my eyes peeled at every lane because, you know, in like a second or two, something could happen. Even top lane, I got my eyes on that lane because there's 2 smoke supports heading into the Luna, and there's the Gush. We're going to see the Chilling Touch as well, combo follow-up, and the arrow. They got another kill. It
Yep.
really is just back and forth.
The Anchor Smash now already on level 3, by the way. Anchor Smash also being buffed. The damage remained the same as far as I know, or as far as I can recall the patch notes, but the damage reduction actually being buffed 60% now. This is quite a lot, so that's why Tidehunter really has something. But here in the mid, oh my god.
Uh-oh, no, Ember Spirit, can you get out of there in time? Oh, just barely. Well, and he went right back into there.
Yeah, he was like,
Man.
oh my god, he's so low, I might get him with the Sleight of Fist, but in the end he doesn't have Sleight of Fist yet. He went for the full fire Flame Guard build, so yep. And now the race for the rune, and it's won by Ember Spirit. Very dangerous for the Alchemist, meaning he has to go back or use his ultimate at least to get full HP.
So, it looks like he's just going to waddle back home. Doesn't want to risk it, especially considering how darn aggressive this Ember Spirit has been throughout the game. But bottom, looks like they're moving on the Darkseer. They do get the double edge, but can they chase him in time? He's so low on health. One more last hit, and there we go.
Poison. Awesome.
Got it. Very nice. Well played. Oh, Mirana ports into the bottom lane, though. Do we have a disruption? 5 seconds on cooldown. But she doesn't chase? Well, okay, no. She's still chasing. She thought about running away. Leap forward as well. There's the Starfall and a defensive disruption. But I don't think the Shadow Demon will survive that.
Yep.
Tidehunter comes in as well, just to kind of say hi. Or a bye, I suppose, if you're the Shadow Demon.
I guess this was just a sacrifice, you know, buying some time so the Center Warner gets off, because Center Warner, well, he has his dagger just about now, pretty much, and yeah, so he gets out, is therefore pretty much successful. I think actually they could have done something, but now here in the mid, Ice Blast and Ember.
Oh, that's also gonna, well, Chemical Ridge is on cooldown, but would have kind of helped out against that. Ember Spirit low on health. I guess he couldn't really finish off the Alchemist if he wanted to.
Yep. By the way, this is something we didn't talk about in the draft. Alchemist, like since the Alchemist got changed in 6.8, like all his tankiness is based on HPS, pure HPS of his ultimate, and the Ancient Apparition is pretty much the perfect counter against him. Because if the Alchemist doesn't have his, his HP regen anymore, then yeah, he's pretty much useless, because then his ultimate is fully negated.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and especially considering, you know, how prevalent the AA is in the current mana build. Got a little bit of action going down. Sentry Ward is placed, so the Moonlight Shadow will not be too effective, and Ember Spirit, he's gonna fall, but Tidehunter tries to help out. He throws out the Ravage, and out comes the Stampede as well from the other team. They're trying to go off Tidehunter. They've already got the AA as well as the Ember Spirit, but down goes the wall. It's just a huge team fight. Shallow Grave onto the Dazzle. Can he survive? He's using a heal, but I don't think he can. The Starkseer should be able to finish him off with the Ion Shell. He gets him. Now there's a disruption onto the Darkseer. Who's he going to go after? That's the question. He's running away from the Alchemist, surging away, wanting to get out of that fight. And the stun will connect, but not that long of a stun. Darkseer. Ooh. Centaur's nearby. I mean, Double Edge is low on health. Can they actually finish him off, though? That's the question. Yep, they can. They got him.
So make it the entire team wipe. There is Ice Blast flying that was sufficient for the Center Warner, but yep, Center Warner, he really just wanted to give the double edge damage on the way, so it's enough. Like if the Alchemist with his last hit would not have been enough, I think the Shadow Poison tick maybe would have been enough. Either way, like AG-Arvore here losing entire team. Like a nice comeback there from the Darkseer with the wall on pretty much all 5. The illusions did so much damage, so he was the only one saving the day pretty much. Like otherwise this would have been a horrible, horrible fight for P5.
Indeed, and I mean, I'm looking at Ember Spirit, and he is 1-5 this game. That is not the best place to be, considering that the other mid lane hero Alchemist 7-1. Things just, it was really close early on, but now they really have turned around. He just doesn't have too much farm.
Yep, doesn't really look like it. At the moment in net worth, well, it's the Darkseer still in a nice position, especially with the plays he made now. But Alchemist now, he's going for a Grievous Creed. And at the moment, the game doesn't look like anyone is attempting to go for crazy pushes. I mean, P5, they didn't even touch the tier 1 towers yet, but they're still all doing quite nice in net worth. So just imagine on top of this coming out the tier 1 towers.
Oh, mid lane. There's the disruption right after the stun actually helps out the Ember Spirit. He instantly just dives out of there. Is able to avoid pretty much a almost obvious death if he wasn't able to port out of there really quick. So he's A-okay. I also want to point out that, look at Darkseer's item choice, Heflatv. Quite interesting in my opinion.
Yeah, Midas going full-time greedy here, and then but he's not far away from the mech, which is kind of needed in the fights. In the last fight, you saw P5 having definitely an advantage there because the mech just came out in between, and now we see here Freeman smoke in the Radiant jungle. Like the question is, do they find something?
I think they may be able to get this Darkseer or the Ancient Apparition. Stomp's available. The dust has been revealed. Okay, there's the Stomp. And double-edged combination. Also the Stampede. That was just a very easy kill onto the A. They're going to use dust to reveal the Darkseer, but he can't surge out of here. There's nowhere to run. And there's another double-edge. The DPS, it's more than enough to finish the job. So very nice rotation from P5.
Yep, and while we were doing this here in the mid, I paid more attention to the mid because of that smoke. Mirana actually got a solo kill on the Luna, so that's also something very important happening. But overall, I mean, 2 supports going down for AG here, plus the tier 1 tower. The first tower, I already mentioned it, that was the first tier 1 tower going down in the direction of P5. So all in all, even the Luna is your main core and everything, this trade was definitely better for P5.
Yep, definitely. Can't underestimate that extra tower gold and that the control can give you over the map. So we'll see if Mirana's in trouble anytime soon. You already have the Centaur kind of just looking for somebody to potentially just blink hoof stomp on. He won't find anyone for the time being.
Yep, but if you look at Luna's farm, like the Luna is really, that's exactly what I said. The Luna in the late game, and I made certain conditions in my comments on the draft. Like the Luna at the moment, her farm is, oh my god, it's really bad, bad.
Ouch. You know, I like that the supports were rotating around and such, but if it's an offensive tri-lane versus an offensive tri-lane, then you kind of gotta help your main carry get a farm. And after the first blood, they just kind of abandoned the lane and went everywhere else on the map.
Now we have rotations. AA is already in. There is the Titan to come in. Oh my god.
Oh, out comes the Ravage as well, and thanks to the Ancient Ice Blast, they'll finish him off, but Ancient Apparition, he will not survive this engagement. The look of things, alright, eventually goes down, but still, there's a bit of a turnaround. They get the Dazzle as well as the Shadow Demon, and a stun on the Ember Spirit. Sugar, can he do the DPS in time? He's actually now, he's got stuck by the chains, and despite having a lot of regeneration, there's just too many heroes and the tower, you know, trying to do the damage, and everybody is dead on P5 all of a sudden. Holy crap.
Like, this was definitely not worth it for a dive on the Ancient Apparition. I mean, Ancient Apparition going down as the only one, a complete team fight, team wipe for P5, and well, there we go. This is the comeback AG was looking for. It's also time for Craft. So far it has been action-packed all the time, so didn't have really like space for it, but now look at this. P5 was leading all the way in experience, like gradually going in their direction, but now with the last team fight, the Craft actually finds itself on the other side of the 0 line. Almost 2000 XP lead now for AG after this fight, and gold wise, well, AG did very nice before, which is actually a surprise because all the ganks and everything were so successful for P5. Also the Alchemist farming very well with Grievous Creep, but it comes down to the Luna being really absolutely underfarmed. But now here in the mid
lane, Ember Spirit, the double edge doesn't do a lot of damage, and because of that Flame Guard Ember Spirit, once again, he will just narrowly escape a death in the mid lane.
Yep. This was actually, I think, a bit of a misplay. The Alchemist should have waited like another second to actually chain his stun after the hoof stomp. There was 1 second left of the hoof stomp, and then he could have gone for the Alchemist stun. He chose to go for a 3-second stun only into the hoof stomp, and that actually gave him like this split second window to Remnant out. Otherwise, just one more hit and that would have been a kill. But he just wanted to be sure there, and I mean, it's also pretty hard to estimate. I mean, you have to be really a very experienced player to like get the stun chain perfectly done.
That's true. It just takes a lot of coordination and effort. But yeah, I guess if we do look on the Radiance end, they have a pretty good team fight combo when it comes to the end of the day. And P5, they're good at like kind of focusing down heroes, but maybe they do lack a little bit in that the team fight department compared to their opponents.
Yep.
There's just a lot of AoE damage on the other end.
But still, we have some core items coming out now on AG, of course. The Tidehunter now having a Blink Dagger after the last engagement there in the bottom lane, which went absolutely in their favor. Him really just surviving on, I don't know, that was so close for him. Like, he was, at some point, he was at 50 HP and then still made it out. Either way, so with the Blink Dagger initiation, P5 has to be even more aware. If they get caught out in a nicely placed Ravage, then this is the perfect time for the Ice Blast. And now also Ember Spirit having the Desolator finished, so there comes a lot of minus armor now also the way of P5. But nevertheless, if I look on this game, it's 15-17. The crafts, well, I just showed the development of the crafts, but I don't see a winner or a loser so far in this game. It could go either way, and the last fight just proved my point there, because like the crafts totally got turned around within just one fight, and this could happen any second again.
Yeah. What do you think about the Desolator pickup on the Ember Spirit? I know that there's a lot of AoE, and that extra negative armor will definitely be, you know, kind of come into effect and help out. The trade-off is, of course, the Battle Fury. Do you think that it's more useful for ARV to really have that item in their arsenal?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, P5 is going to be spread out anyway because they play against the Tidehunter. They just don't want to be there. They're also spread out because of the Darkseer and everything. So I think, oh my god, we have a go here on the
top lane. Yeah, the Weave is trying to keep Centaur alive, or the Shallow Grave. He's stuck under the Frostbite. And I don't know if he'll be able to survive. Yeah, he gets blown up. The wall is down as well. And the Shadow Demon looks like he could fall next. Blink forward from the Tidehunter. And he's able to get a decent Ravage off. Another Grave onto the Dazzle to try to keep him alive. But everyone else on P5 is retreating. He goes down. Wait, Alchemist! He's trying to run going in here and see if he can pick up the Ember Spirit, but it could be a mistake. He's really darn fast, though.
Yeah, the Luna was coming in for a Lucent Beam on the Ember, but he did slide a fist at the same time, and Luna was not patient enough, and yeah, went back there. This Lucent Beam would have still killed the Ember, and I don't think he would have risked his life there for this Lucent Beam. But yeah, not patient enough, waiting after the slide of fist, getting the Lucent Beam in. So Ember actually surviving, and now AG actually took the lead here in this game, and yep, it's the second time they fight. I mean, it was not a team wipe this time for P5, but still, you see the Blink Dagger, Ravage, and the nice initiation on the Centaur already. They had to use the Shallow Grave already for him. They had to use the Disruption as well, otherwise he would have shattered. And in the end, he used those two spells, and he died anyway just by the Remnant damage of the Ember Spirit engaging. So, not really worth it. They should have probably just let him die and used the other spells for any other hero out there.
Yeah, it just seems like P5, they kind of got like knocked down one at a time in that fight. They weren't really all together, and if they were, just imagine, I mean, the amount of AoE from the opposing team, it's just scary to look at. And Shadow Demon, he got his health taken down by like, I think, a third from that Sleight of Fist, so already Ember Spirit's damage starting to get pretty dangerous looking.
Yep, and now the Luna also getting an Ice Blast in her face. The problem is Ice Blast is level 1, but as soon as it is level 2, plus Sleight of Fist and maybe some residual damage, maybe even crit on the Ember Spirit. Now, Stampede in the mid.
Yeah, the arrow misses Centaur as well, and the stun from Alchemist will finish the job. And looks like P5, will they give chase? No, they're going to turn it around onto the Ember Spirit, who gets a kill onto the Shadow Demon before just running away. It's a little game of cat and mouse, back and forth. Panda activates the BKBs, going on to Dazzle as well. Very good wall. Ember Spirit, he's going to rejoin, but out comes the Eclipse from Luna. And Tidehunter is ravaged. 10 seconds left. And I believe they got the Luna. It was a trade-off for the AA, which is almost back. There's still a lot of very low health heroes on AG's side. Ember Spirit gets the Sleight of Fist. Tries to run it away, but he dies. Buys back instantly. And we'll see if he goes after the Alchemist. The stun will connect. That's this Ice Blast. I think it's going to give Ember Spirit the edge he needs in the fight. There he gets the kill, but can he get away from the tower? That's the question. The Shadow Poison, it will be absorbed by that Flame Guard. There's no bottle charges left, however, and 13 seconds left on the Remnant, but I believe he should just narrowly escape.
Yeah, he's gone, but I mean, AG at the same time also got now another kill in the jungle. Like, this fight split up in pretty much 3 directions, and I don't know, the Ember even under the tower, like, he's just doing work at the moment. Also the Mirana now, the Mirana in the lead position on the net worth, just followed by the Alchemist, and then following Tidehunter, Ember, and yeah, the Darkseer. Look at the Luna's net worth, like 5,000 gold. This is not how your main core should just look like. That's the problem. I said it in the draft that everything comes down to either the Ember farm and the Luna farm, and at the moment we are looking at like 4 to 5,000 gold more net worth on each of the cores of AG, and simply for that fact they just have this game in their hands. And to be honest, I think they should force the issue at the moment. Like, they should just push on, because now they have the advantage. If the Luna somehow is involved in some kills, maybe it doesn't die in a team fight getting the level and all those dominating Wicked 6 and soon maybe godlike streaks, then she gets a sudden influx of gold that might actually turn the game around. But so far, well, it doesn't look like it. That's why I say AG, they shouldn't risk it. Keep on pushing.
I guess they still need to get a few more towers. You know, the 2 tier 2 towers. I think they can push. I mean, they have the better team fight at this point. And as I say, that top lane, there's a smoke. Shadow Demon, he'll get the disruption off. But can they time it with the hoof combos? Yes, they can. But do they have enough DPS to finish off the Ember Spirit? That's the question. He's trying to Remnant away, but I think a few too many stacks plus the poison damage. It's just enough. And here we have the Shadow Demon dead. Now the rest ARV, they're joining in, and they should finish off the center. No! He blinks away, but there's a counter blink from the Tidehunter with the Ion Shell. They
and
have
in the mid,
just
the
enough
Luna
damage.
is just dying to the Mirana Strike Plagues plus the Urn Charge. But Alchemist is coming in, gets now an arrow, but oh my god, very nicely done. This Shadow Wave actually doing so much damage on the Mirana. Now Alchemist chasing in the wrong direction, but now he got the vision on it. Poison Touch is coming out, that means the slow. Now it's just a matter of time till that stun will hit, and 1, 2, there he goes. Alchemist, I say. AA going down. In the end, this was a free for free.
Yeah, it would have obviously been better for AG-Arvore if they had their entire team clumped together. It was just kind of unfortunate. The Luna thought she was safe with the Black King Bar, but Dazzle says, I don't really care. Shadow Wave is physical damage, not magical, and just kind of doesn't really give a hoot about that shield.
Yep.
We're gonna see Alchemist. I think he may actually end up stunning himself.
Yep. That's a stun on himself. But you know, it's still a free on free, but like we just had this topic. If I think about it, Luna died not having farm. Ember died as well, okay, as a core. That's good, of course, for P5, but he already got his decent amount of farm. And in the end, the one who is getting pretty much the next item of huge significance is the Tidehunter, because he got a Oblivion stuff, he got a Perseverance, and 1,200 gold, now farming the Ancient. So if I think about it, free for free, who's coming out on top of it? It will be still AG, because the Tidehunter getting solo XP, getting solo gold there on the 2 kills, and this will soon be a Refresher Orb, and a level 16 Tidehunter. That means a level 3 Ravage coming P5 way, and probably a second one with the Refresher Orb. So in the end, a better trade for AG if I think about it.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised how much farm this Tidehunter is getting. Like, he had Mana Boots and a Blink Dagger, I think, by the 15-minute mark. He's just been doing, you know, really good all around. A lot of supports blink forward. But besides an Anchor Smash, nothing else that's too crazy. Okay, there's a Stampede though. They have the Disruption as well as the Soul Catcher onto the Tidehunter. But look at how darn tanky he is. They're able to take him down still, but look at that. They committed 4 heroes to get the job done, and at the same time, Ember Spirit was pushing this bottom tower. The tier 3 already down to just under 500 health.
Yep, definitely. So, well, I think it was also the right decision. To be honest, Tidehunter could have used the Ravage and then just went out of there. Maybe there was a chance that he gets away. I mean, he couldn't use the Blink Dagger anyway because the Poison Touch was on him. Not the Poison Touch, the Shadow Poison. And I don't know, I think it was the right decision not to go for the Ravage, because even level 2, it's still 100. I mean, it doesn't scale down with the level, just like other big ultimates, so it's still 150 seconds cooldown on either level. That means, yep, saving it for the potential next fight coming, probably the right decision.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to play it a little bit safer. But, yeah, I guess I'm actually surprised P5 has been holding on pretty darn well, considering I guess just the prowess of their opposition's team fight. But then again, we haven't seen a true 5-on-5 clash since, like, that lower fight at the bottom tier 1 tower where basically everybody on P5 died. So I'm kind of waiting for another one of those big team fights, and I still feel like AG-Arvore should have that pretty darn easily.
Yep, absolutely. And since there is some sort of standoff, I'm gonna show the graphs pretty fast. AG now XP lead over 12,000, heading towards the 14k mark. Here's an arrow fishing, and that gives me also another time for the gold craft. 15,000 now for AG. So yeah, they're like in gold experience so heavy, and still it all comes down to the Luna. Luna has to care that the supports don't take over the elite, even over her. Like a main core on one team ending up pretty much being lower in farm than the supports. This is so worst case scenario. She needs more farm, like 600 more gold for the BKB. She needs to survive those team fight clashes. They need the eclipse damage. She's only level 13. It's a disaster for this Luna, and I mean there is of course a chance for coming back. I already said it with the kills on all those guys with killing sprees, wicked six streaks. That would have been an option, but yeah, first of all they have to win the fight.
Indeed they do. It really is just dire for this Luna. I just wish she would have her BKB. If at least she had that, things would not be in the worst case scenario for her, but it kind of is. And it looks like we're gonna have an initiation. There's all of the ultimates coming out. Look at that, already 2 dead instantaneously. The 2 cores dead. Now all 3 cores are down. Ember Spirit joins the fight as well, right-clicking down Dazzle, and we'll see him use the Shallow Grave, but, I mean, really, at this point, the game's basically over after that fight. That was a 5-4-0. It wasn't even close whatsoever.
Yep.
Just the team fight. It was the team fight.
This is at least one Rax. We have to look at the buybacks, but I mean there are some buybacks there, not enough to defend this. Like they have so much mana, so much HP still left. They have, okay, bottle charges would be out, but I mean they have the Mac in 10 seconds ready again. And yeah, this is Rax for sure. At least the mid Rax. Let's see if P5 still tries to do something, but no. It's the right decision in my opinion. Like they had a nice start, a very nice start actually. We were talking about the Shadow Demon combination in the early game, doing 3 rotations, ending up getting 3 kills. They had a 3-1 lead in the very early game. Still not enough to win this game. So this is a best of 2 series. That means, or what means, there is no best of 2. There's no such a thing. There's just a 2-game series. So yeah, second game will be up in just a minute, and let's see if P5 can come back on AG here.